Hey, this is Rob Casey with GoSendMe Global, and we're doing a missions moment for you today. And today we're talking about a familiar passage and going to compare a couple of concepts that I think will be a real help to you. We're going to look at the difference between our motivation and our words and then our goals as three areas that really need to line up rightly with God and His Word and then what we're doing in a practical sense. And so it's a matter of not having to change what God is, obviously, nor changing His Word, but we are the ones who are constantly in need of change. And boy, we can get ahead of things. We can really try to even get ahead of the Lord when it comes to our goal setting. We can talk bigger than we should be, or we can use Christianese that doesn't really match up with our true state, our hearts. So let's look at a couple of passages, and I think that this will be a blessing to you. You've seen this before. It's Psalm 37, 4 and 5. Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in Him, and He will act. I like to think of the idea of committing your way to something as being a goal. This is something I'm committing to, and I'm going to pursue this in my life. And God is saying, look, when your goals are about me, when your goals are based on godly things, when your pursuit is me, then you're inviting me to act in your life. When you delight in me, in other words, what's going on in your heart toward me is really about me in truth, then you're going to see that the desires that you have, the goals that you have are going to change. And they're going to line up with things that are really about me, giving me freedom to move and to act in your life in incredible ways. Now, in comparison to this, let's take a look, because we like to look at the whole counsel of God's Word. And while we can't do all that in this moment, we can take a look at a few more passages. So remember what David said in the Psalms, also in Psalm 19, verse 14, let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight. So here we have this comparison again of what it is that's going on within us and then what's coming out of us. Remember, Jesus talked about this, that as a man speaks, so is he in his heart. We get a reflection of what a person really is like based on what really comes out. However, we can note that what comes out may sound good, and yet it doesn't really line up with where we really are. So we could preach great and use Christianese, but if the meditation of our heart, the goals of our heart really are more about selfish ambition, eventually we'll start seeing that those words reflect a vanity to what it is that we're setting goals for. So look at this next verse here. He says this, the counsel of the Lord stands forever, the plans of His heart to all generations. So I really want to give you the opportunity here to think about what this means in terms of letting the counsel of the Lord and the plans of God, the purposes of God be the guide for goal setting. Is it really about Him? Are we seeking to abide in Him? Is the desire of our heart more of what He wants for us and more of just Him? That's delighting in Him. So much of the time when I hear people talking about delighting in the Lord, what I really hear them saying is that they're delighting in order to get, that they are saying, Daddy, I love you, now can I please have? And really, He's enough, isn't He? So Lord, change us, right? Lord, change us so that our heart really is for You, Lord, and that the words that we speak in regard to life and ministry and amongst our neighbors, etc., really begins to reflect a heart for the Lord. And then the goals we set, the plans, the ways we commit to are about His plans, His purposes for our lives. Not man-made, not our own, but inspired by Him and a result of the relationship we have with Him. So there's a three-legged stool there for you to sit on and see if you're on a firm foundation in these areas of your life. I hope that this will be a help to you to see maybe an area that may give some reflection to you today as to how the Lord needs to sanctify you, as He does need to sanctify me as well more into the image of Christ, because Christ Himself knew what the goal was. He knew the goal of the cross. He knew His purpose. He glorified His Father. He only did what He saw His Father doing, and He only said what He heard His Father saying. What a goal for us to be like that in our lives as well. Again, I hope this is a help to you. If we can answer more questions for you about this or talk more about your missions journey, we'd love to hear from you. Email us at info@gosendme.us or check us out on the web at gosendmeglobal.org. God bless you.